Hello friends, welcome back to another Magic Monday. This series just won't quit. Today we're looking at a deck called Starfall with Roxanne, Starfall Savant. 5 mana for a 4/3 cat druid. When she enters the battlefield or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite with when Meteorite enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target, and tap, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact token produced. So basically double mana from the meteorites. Let's take a look behind the hood. 35 red, 16 green with an average mana cost of a paltry 2.2. 40 lands. 17 creatures, 9 instants, 5 sorceries, 19 artifacts including a dog, 10 enchantments, a Chandra Planeswalker, and 1 battle, along with a desert. Because why not? So what do we got in here? What's the point of this deck? Well, the point of this deck is to make as many meteorites as possible and have a bunch of mana to do whatever we want, and also keep pinging things with those 2 points of damage. So to that end, we want Roxanne attacking every turn if possible. To that end, we have a bunch of equipment, such as the Beamtown Beat Stick, which will also create some treasure tokens for us. The Diamond Pickaxe, which will also create some treasure tokens for us. The Dire Flail, which will not create treasure tokens for us, but is, kind of cool. Goldhound, just for mana. That's our artifact dog. I just wanted to show it off while it's here. We also have an artifact rabbit. The rabbit battery just keeps going and going and going. We got Shock just because. We got Sticky Fingers for more treasure tokens because it also gives Roxanne Menace, which is nice because it'll make it a little bit harder to block her. Tormentor's Helm, just another piece of equipment. We've got the Basilisk Collar to give Death Touch and Lifelink. We've got this Kite Sail to give Flying. Leather Armor for a little bit of defense and a Ward 1. Shadow Spear for Trample and Lifelink and 1/1. What else? Oh, well, this guy's important to highlight. The Armed Scavenger, who at the beginning of your upkeep draft a card from his spellbook and exile it. Equip abilities you activate cost 1 less. And all 15 of his spellbook options are equipment. So we get a lot of variety from that. We've also got a Lizard Blades, which we can reconfigure to give her double strike, which is cool. We got this Rune of Speed, which is fun to just put on equipment, and it lets us draw a card just to keep the deck moving. We also have, in terms of equipment, the Gold Vein Pick, which will make more treasure tokens for us. The Mirror Shield, which gives our whoever's equipped with it hexproof and protection from Death Touch, basically. We've got this Two-Handed Axe, which, whenever equipped creature attacks, double its power until end of turn. We also have Anduril, Flame of the West. Gives creature +3/1, and whenever it attacks, create 2 tapped 1/1 flying tokens. If it's create 2 tapped tokens with flying. If it's legendary, create 2 tokens that are tapped and attacking. And then we got a Mana Rock there, and I think that's it for equipment. So anyway, it's a lot of equipment. What do we have in here that's not equipment? Well, we've got Strangle for some removal. We've got Delighted Halfling for some mana. We got an Elvish Mystic for some mana. We've got Lana War Elves for some mana. We also have a Utopia Sprawl for some mana. And we've got this Lana War Loam Speaker for some mana, and this Caratidid for some mana, and an Incubation Druid, and a Paradise Druid, and some Mana Rocks. It just keeps going. And we even have a Catalyst Elemental in here that we can sacrifice for 2 red mana. So that we get a lot of mana. A lot of mana opportunities. What else do we have, you may ask? Well, we've got some stuff to protect our commander, like Hexproof here, and Indestructible, and things of that nature. I think there's another one. Yeah, Heroic Interventions right here. So we've got some stuff there. And remember, the Mirror Shield also gives hexproof. So what else do we have? Well, we've got Breaking of the Fellowship, which target creature and opponent controls deal damage to another target creature that player controls, which is kind of nice. And it can tempt the ring onto Roxanne. just to protect her a little bit from big creatures on the other side. Case of the Market Melee. Deals 1 damage to any target. Damage isn't removed from creatures during cleanup steps. This is really nice with the meteorites so that we can ping bigger things with meteorites and eventually whittle them down. Curse of Shaken Faith will just annoy our opponents. That's kind of the whole point. Removal with Lava Coil. Removal with Shredded Sails. We already looked at all those. We got Draconic Destiny to give our commander flying, haste, and pump it up like a Shivan dragon. Pretty cool. Flick a Coin lets us deal a damage to any target, create a treasure token, and draw a card. So for 3 mana, we're getting 3 effects, and that's kind of neat. Professional Facebreaker will let us make some more treasure tokens. Urabrask's Forge will let us make some of these Phyrexian horrors every turn, just for fun. Settle the Wilds helps us get a land and seek something equal to the number of lands we have. Tornado is just a great word and also destroys a flying creature. Rhythm of the Wild. Creature spells can't be countered, and non-token creatures you control have Riot. So if we get this out before Roxanne, because she has Riot, Riot means she either gets +1/1 counter or haste. So what that really means is that in an ideal situation, we're able to play 2 meteorites in the same turn, dealing 4 damage and adding some mana rocks. Chromatic Lantern, because of course. We've got Chandra, mostly for the +1 add 2 red. I like that a lot. Delina, Wild Mage. Well, we'd really like to copy Roxanne as many times as possible in a turn and make a whole bunch of meteorites, don't you think? Leyline of Combustion, whenever you or another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, this deals 2 damage to them. Leyline of Lightning, I wanted to include some ley lines just for fun. Whenever you cast a spell, you may pay 1. If you do, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. This guy is in here for no particular reason other than the fact that why not? 4 mana for a 5/5 red menace. Whenever he's dealt damage, seek that many non-land cards at the beginning of your next end step, discard those cards. So it can get a little iffy if you want to attack with this guy if you're already tapped out, but potentially can get you some stuff. Now we're into the real meat and potatoes here. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage, like perhaps a meteorite, it deals double that damage instead. Nice. What about Fiery Emancipation? If a source you control would deal damage, it deals triple that damage instead. So Fiery Emancipation, Meteorite comes into play. Deal 6 damage to whatever I want. Amazing. Got some card draw here with Unexpected Windfall. We've got Halana and Alina because I felt like it. And we've got Crackle with Power. XXX red. Red deals 5 times X damage to up to X targets. We can make a lot of mana with our meteorites that tap for double, and we can pump it into here. And this is a game-ending card right there. And finally, the Invasion of Ikoria. Search your library and or graveyard for a non-human creature with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. And then when you destroy this battle, it's an 8/8 reach. The rest of the ability doesn't really matter. But this is nice if somebody actually manages to destroy our Solfim, for example, or our Halana, or our Delina. We can just Invasion of Ikoria it. Actually, Delina I think is human. No, elf? Human. This one we can't do. But the Solfim or Delina, we could pull back with Ikoria from the graveyard, dump it right onto the battlefield, which is nice. Bunch of lands, and that's it. That's the deck. I really like these cards from this new set that are whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks. I think there's some really interesting mechanics there. This one in particular feels kind of broken. So I had a lot of fun playing this deck. I hope you guys enjoy the games. If you do, you know what to do. It's YouTube. We always do the same thing. Friends, thanks for watching this video. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. Let's get to some games.